Too often, tabloids are littered with tragic reports of former child stars, but not all of them have fallen off the map. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 child actors that became successful adult actors. For this list, we're taking a look at child actors who aged the most gracefully, arguably becoming even more successful as adults. While we applaud Ron Howard and Leonardo DiCaprio for their work beyond their tweens, one has seen more glory behind the camera, and the other mainly made guest spots on sitcoms in his youth. Number 20. Thomas Brodie Sangster. The world fell in love with Thomas Sangster's angelic face the moment he ran through an airport for the girl of his dreams in Love Actually. But the actor has left such innocent roles behind.
Joanna. Sam?
Through his portrayal of a young Paul McCartney in Nowhere Boy, Sangster showed that he's not a little boy anymore.
I present to you Mr. Paul McCharmley.
Thanks, John. Kind words.
I didn't mean them.
Since then, he's adopted a hyphenated name and racked up a filmography that nicely balances franchises like The Maze Runner with quieter fare like The Death of a Superhero.
What does matter is who we are now and what we do right now.
But perhaps most notably, fans will recognize Sangster as Jojen Reed on Game of Thrones.
You can't kill it, you know.
Why not?
Because the Raven is you.
Number 19. Freddie Highmore.
This is just a bit of silliness, really.
Should hope so. Go on.
It's always impressive when an English actor can pull off a pitch-perfect American accent, but being able to do it at such a young age is really something.
I'm sorry I was so horrible.
What's more, Freddie Highmore appeared to be gambling on what made him popular in roles like Finding Neverland and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He quickly shed the lovable English inflection when he took on the role of one of the most disturbed young minds in modern pop culture, Norman Bates in Bates Motel.
Maybe some people don't get to start over. Maybe they just bring themselves to a new place.
The show would run for 5 seasons with the actor receiving great critical acclaim. His small screen success has continued with the complex role of the autistic surgeon Sean Murphy on The Good Doctor. Number 18. Emma Watson.
Wingardium Leviosa.
In the early millennium, we could never imagine the cherubic cast of Harry Potter growing up, as if a spell would keep them forever youthful.
I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another clever idea to get us killed. Or worse, expelled.
The actors have grown up in more ways than one, however. Harry Potter himself, Daniel Radcliffe, went against type, taking on more and more challenging jobs until his signature child role was practically a footnote. Emma Watson has had a similar journey, appearing in indies like Sofia Coppola's The Bling Ring.
We're conducting an investigation. Before we're done, I promise you'll explain everything.
Why do I have to sit down?
Zip it!
While she's not against appearing in more family-friendly fantasies like the Beauty and the Beast remake, she's primarily leaned toward mature roles such as Meg March in Little Women.
I'm not leaving you. And besides, one day it will be your turn.
Number 17. Dakota Fanning. It says a lot about your acting chops when you're getting SAG Award nominations at the age of 7.
There are 4 stages of a butterfly's life. The first 3 stages from egg to larva.
Dakota Fanning hit the mainstream as the daughter of a mentally handicapped Sean Penn in I Am Sam. There was little question she had talent, but it was young Fanning's charm and whimsy that really won us over. We adored her in Charlotte's Web and feared for her in War of the Worlds.
No.
With her recent roles as Squeaky Fromm in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and The Western Brimstone, Fanning's metamorphosis into an adult actress was complete.
I'm an old friend of George's. Thought I'd stop and say hello.
That's very nice of you, but unfortunately you picked the wrong time. George is taking a nap right now.
Number 16. Neil Patrick Harris. One imagines that the goal of any former child actor is to not get typecast in their adult years. If that's so, Neil Patrick Harris has done well to all but obliterate the years he carried the Doogie Howser moniker.
Also, I'd like to send him to nuclear medicine for a cardiac scan at 9:30.
Thank you, Dr. Howser.
Harris tried once in the late 90s with an appearance in Starship Troopers as, you guessed it, a science officer.
Your basic arachnid warrior isn't too smart.
But it wasn't until How I Met Your Mother's womanizing sex-crazed Barney Stinson that Harris redefined his career.
And of course, the robot makes an appearance in the sad love ballad.
He was my sidekick, he had to be.
He subsequently became one of the most popular LGBTQ plus actors working, as well as a sought-after award show host. Number 15, Christina Ricci. Upon growing up, Christina Ricci rid herself of childish things as soon as possible.
I can see right through you. Kind of happens when you don't have any skin.
Little Ricci greeted America warmly in Casper and the Addams Family movies.
Are they dead?
Does it matter?
But even before she turned 18, she had appeared in more maturely themed works, such as Ang Lee's The Ice Storm. Since then, she's taken on more and more risque roles, from successes like Black Snake Moan and Monster to outright flops like Afterlife.
I'm the only one who can hear you now.
Then prove to me that I'm really dead.
Rest assured, she's long put the days of Wednesday Addams behind her. Number 14, Elijah Wood. If any Hollywood actor knows the importance of initiative, it's this guy.
I've told you. I'm telling you. Connie didn't just slip.
You may recognize him as Frodo Baggins from the massively popular Lord of the Rings trilogy.
I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this had happened.
But he might never have been cast had it not been for the audition tape he took it upon himself to send in. His turn as Frodo made him an international star and helped the world to see him as a man instead of the boy from films like North, The Good Son, and that one scene in Back to the Future Part 2. Wood has since shown the world his abilities and breakthrough roles in Sin City and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, proving he'll be around for a while. Number 13, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
God. If there's a God. If you're a man or a woman.
After starting his screen career as a tyke,
Why'd they shoot Phil? He was a nice man.
Gordon-Levitt became one of the stars of the long-running but underrated sitcom Third Rock from the Sun, in a role that allowed him to show off his stellar comedic timing and know-how as an old man trapped in a youthful body.
I'm in command.
Yeah, well, I'm in puberty, pal.
Once that show came to an end, he tried his hand at more dramatic roles in indie flicks like Brick. He would almost entirely shed his boyish persona to become a star in big-budget films such as Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, and Looper. Along with Golden Globe nods for 500 Days of Summer and 50/50, Gordon-Levitt founded a collaborative online production company called Hit Record in the mid-2000s.
You never wanted to be anybody's girlfriend, and now you're somebody's wife.
Number 12, Anna Paquin. One of the youngest performers to ever win an Academy Award, Paquin's early years in the film industry were marked by a playful spirit and an ability to tackle weighty subjects.
Everyone has to practice.
When it came time to transition to on-screen adulthood, she never missed a beat with excellent appearances in respected films like the X-Men series.
The first boy I ever kissed ended up in a coma for 3 weeks.
25th Hour, and Almost Famous. Finally, completely coming of age for most audiences thanks to her starring role and Golden Globe-nominated performance in the vampire drama True Blood, Anna poised herself to have a lengthy and celebrated career in the years to come.
What do you have, a death wish?
No, I don't have a death wish. I just happen to think that judging an entire group of people based on the actions of a few individuals within that group is morally wrong.
Well, I will not let you put yourself or this bar in danger. I won't.
Number 11, Mickey Rooney. Beginning acting at the ripe old age of 6, Mickey Rooney spent the rest of his 93 years on this planet making appearances in front of the cameras. And though he may have passed away, his legacy lives on.
I am feared in field and town.
One of the last living silent film era stars and a Hollywood heavyweight with one of the longest careers going, Mickey proved his skills with acclaimed roles including A Midsummer Night's Dream at age 15 and an Academy Award-nominated performance at almost 60 in The Black Stallion.
And remember, you don't want him to outbreak you. You know what that means? That horse starts to settle. They open that gate, wham, like that, and some of them just scat, whap.
Mickey Rooney won awards, receipts, and hearts over the course of a multi-decade career with his humor, charm, and genuine talent.
What do you mean, who's flying the plane? Nobody's flying the plane.
Number 10, Scarlett Johansson.
Let me put you on hold.
Scarlett Johansson is best known nowadays for playing Natasha Romanoff in the MCU, although her breakthrough role was far different from Black Widow.
You've totally ignored me ever since high school ended.
You're the one who's still living out some stupid 7th grade fantasy.
The deeply cynical Ghost world may have transformed her career, but she had a reputable stack of child roles leading up to it. Though she received an introducing credit in The Horse Whisperer, she had already appeared in several other films. Just as well, though, as director Robert Redford sang the praises of her maturity and calling her 13 going on 30.
Horse fell, and Judith's foot was caught in stirrup. And she was so scared.
By the time a movie carrying that title rolled around, she already had a Golden Globe nomination. Number 9. Kirsten Dunst. Kirsten Dunst, without realizing it, may epitomize this list as the girl Hollywood didn't want to grow up.
Claudia, don't.
Why not? Can't I change like everybody else?
After she appeared as the young vampiress opposite Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in Interview with the Vampire, audiences couldn't picture her as an adult.
Oh, over here?
Yeah, that's great.
Don't make me look ugly.
That's impossible.
Dunst has aged, however, starring in everything from blockbusters like the Spider-Man trilogy to experimental films like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Where will I be if there's a rupture between our two families? Am I to be Austrian or the Dauphine of France?
Dunst has also pursued more challenging, risky roles with controversial filmmakers such as Lars von Trier and prestige names like Sofia Coppola.
Do I get to say thank you this time?
Number 8. Natalie Portman.
What's your name?
Matilda.
Viewers were introduced to Miss Portman when she was barely in her tweens, but even then her acting skills made her an acting heavyweight who was wise beyond her years and as mature as her co-stars Gary Oldman and Jean Reno in Léon, The Professional.
I work for you, and in exchange, you teach me how to clean.
Ironically, when she was finally awarded an Oscar for her work, it was for her role as a woman who in many ways was childlike and repressed, living under the thumb of her mother.
That was perfect.
Whatever her age or whichever emotion she's evoking, Natalie Portman is a talented actress of the highest regard who's transitioned from child star to adult star with grace.
Annie? My goodness, you've grown.
So have you. Grown more beautiful, I mean. Well, for a senator, I mean.
Number 7. Christian Bale. When viewing the intense, often angry performances of Christian Bale's recent years, it's difficult to believe he was once a cute child actor
I can't remember what my parents look like.
or a singing and dancing teen. But we have the movies to prove it.
All the same, Mrs. Victor, the best teacher is the University of Life.
Oh, for heaven's
Could we finish our meal?
If you can get past his baby face and instead focus on the gravitas he brought to his characters at such an early age, his current trajectory makes perfect sense.
I didn't mean it. It was a joke.
You could see the kind of passion that even then could lead an actor to lose and gain weight for roles, even to the detriment of his health.
Don't I look okay?
And can catch glimpses of a thespian who could later lose himself entirely in his work.
I mean, I guess I'm a pretty sick guy.
Number 6. Kurt Russell.
How would I like to kick you in the shin?
A legendary Hollywood star who had his first film role beside Elvis Presley at the age of 11. Kurt Russell's career has spanned 5 decades, and his success has remained relatively constant.
That was one of those things out there, trying to imitate him, Gary.
An actor who, according to some sources, was Disney's top star of the 1970s, Russell transitioned easily from more family-friendly fare to more mature or straight-up badass roles.
Adults. They're all nuts.
An A-list actor who has also become a cult film darling, Russell's collaborations with John Carpenter ensured he remained relevant to a whole new generation of action flick fans. Meanwhile, the 2010s saw him appear in a number of huge flicks, like the Fast and the Furious franchise, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and more than one Quentin Tarantino film.
And I can't afford to hire a bunch of guys that smoke cigarettes and sit around talking to each other all day on the chance that I might use them.
I got a 4-man team here, Rick.
Number 5. Drew Barrymore. When she first came to prominence as a child star in E.T., to say she was adorable seems like we're woefully understating things. In one of the most successful movies of all time, Drew managed to shine even though her role easily could have been forgettable in the hands of most young actors. But the pressure of stardom and being part of one of America's most famous acting dynasties finally got to her, and it seemed as though she might end up like so many child stars whose lives hit the skids. Fortunately, she began rebuilding in the late 90s and has continued her reign as a very bankable star, as evidenced by her roles in rom-coms, the Charlie's Angels franchise, and more.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Who is this?
Number 4. Judy Garland.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
And the final year saw an Oscar nomination for Judgment at Nuremberg.
Will you please state your name to the tribunal?
Irene Hoffman-Vollner.
If that's not strength in the face of adversity, we don't know what is. Number 3. Natalie Wood. At least Garland fans received some sort of closure when she passed away. Natalie Wood's untimely drowning is drenched in controversy and unanswered questions. Her life, however, was one of a unique talent on display at an early age.
Well, young lady, what's your name?
Susan Walker, what's yours?
Mine? Kris Kringle. I'm Santa Claus.
Wood became America's little girl when she sat on Santa's lap in Miracle on 34th Street.
Amazing. Do you happen to have a spare piece?
Her years in Hollywood, some argue, can be viewed as the maturation of the American woman, taking early child roles to coveted, rare middle-aged roles right up until her death.
It's a secret. That's the girl I'm gonna marry.
If her legacy is that of a girl who managed to steal the hearts of the country's parents and the neighborhood rebel without a cause, it's one that's hard to live down. Number 2. Jodie Foster.
I understand. And it means something, really.
A massively talented and respected actress who first earned an Academy Award nomination at 15 after a long list of performances.
What the hell's the matter with you?
Listen, you don't have to make it, mister.
God damn it, don't you want to get out of here?
And took home the trophy twice over the following 15 years, Foster earned her place in Hollywood.
Well, we don't know. It might be some type of advanced communication device, or it could be a teaching machine of some kind, or it might turn out to be some kind of a transport.
After making her screen debut at the age of 3, she has finally transitioned to the director's chair, and her peers hold her in such esteem that she seems to make whatever projects she spearheads a reality, including a film about a man and his beaver puppet. There are few actors who've created as many well-remembered characters as Miss Foster, who has since expanded her acting career with a directing one.
You spook easily, Starling?
Not yet, sir.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Elizabeth Taylor. Inciting a bidding war in the era of movie studio contracts, Elizabeth Taylor had both Universal and MGM banging down her door due to their belief that she was a star in the making.
Don't you love horses?
I hate them.
I don't believe it. You know too much about them.
That's when you really hate something, when you know too much about it.
Perhaps you're just scared by horses. You will stay, won't you, Mai?
To say that they were right is an understatement.
You come here then running over with wine and self-pity to conquer Caesar.
Appearing more serious and somehow older than many of her similarly aged counterparts, Elizabeth's focus eventually became one of her most priceless strengths.
Oh, well, please don't mind me. Do go on.
A woman whose power was so strong she remained a highly sought-after celebrity years after her acting career went mostly dormant.
It's really a very sad story.
Taylor's beauty and acting chops played as a child and as an adult.
Some men would give their right arm for the chance.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.